Let's get back to Gareth Bale then. As promised, when he signed for Real Madrid, it was a wild record fee back in 2013. He went on to win 5 Champions League trophies, didn't he, and 3 La Liga titles. Let's now speak to Spanish football expert Alvaro Montero. Good afternoon to you, Alvaro. I mean, big breaking news today, but of course, when he signed way back in 2013, as I mentioned, for that record fee, there was so much excitement about him playing with Cristiano Ronaldo, wasn't there?
Hi, Vicky. Good afternoon. Yeah, and because he was a very expensive player in that moment, Real Madrid paid more than 100 million euros, which was more even than what they paid for Cristiano Ronaldo. And if you ask me about what people thought at first when Gareth Bale arrived, many people in Real Madrid, and not only inside the club, but the fans thought that he could be the next Ballon d'Or after that Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo race. He's going to be remembered as an amazing player for Real Madrid fans, as a legend. But if you ask myself, after meeting love for Real Madrid fans in the Bernabeu Stadium in the last years, I will say he's not going to be remembered as a very loved player for part of the Real Madrid fans.
Why did it turn so sour then, Alvaro?
Excuse me, could you repeat?
So sour for Gareth Bale.
Well, Gareth Bale was an amazing player in his first years in Real Madrid. For instance, you could remember that in his first year, he scored 22 goals. He gave 17 assists. In the last year, for example, only 0 assists and 1 goal, which is very poor. He has been an amazing player in very important Real Madrid games in La Liga, in UEFA Champions League finals, and in Copa del Rey. Everybody remembers that amazing goals against Football Club Barcelona in Mestalla in Valencia in the Copa del Rey final 2014, or his amazing goal, 2 of them, but the first one obviously against Liverpool in UEFA Champions League final in 2018 in Kiev. So as I said, he's been a legend for Real Madrid. He has scored many goals, more than 100 goals, top 20 in Real Madrid's score list. Even above Ronaldo Nazario, the Brazilian phenomenon, so it's big words. But Gareth Bale, because of his lack of commitment, that is what many Real Madrid fans say, he rather to play golf in July 2019 instead of playing a friendly game with Real Madrid against Bayern Munich, or when he left Bernabeu Stadium many times before finishing the game. So that famous flag in Wales when they qualified for Euro, with Wales Golf Madrid answering Peja Mijatovic, Real Madrid former player, was not good for Real Madrid fans. So I will say he's a legend. He's a very important player in Real Madrid history in the last 15, 20 years, but he's not going to be remembered as an amazing or very beloved player for part of Real Madrid fans.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of was almost a bit of a tongue-in-cheek statement, but I know it didn't go down well, did it, that flag at all, in terms of Real Madrid? Look, they were full of superstars, weren't they, when he arrived, certainly. How did he cope with that? Do you think he coped with that well initially?
Yes, because Cristiano Ronaldo, which was the top #1 in Real Madrid, received him extremely well. In that moment, Real Madrid had many important players such as Sergio Ramos, Casillas, also received him pretty well. Gareth Bale was a player who arrived very humble to the locker room. As I said, the top important players received him extremely well. Luka Modric, which was not so important and as he is now, but as he met him in Tottenham, they played together, also received him pretty well. And we have to say that when Gareth Bale made his debut, I remember against Villarreal, he even scored. So he arrived, as we say in Spanish, with estrella, which means with a star. I mean, he was arriving, and in the very first second, he scored a goal, and he was well received by Real Madrid, by the president, by the teammates, and especially by the Bernabeu fans.
Let's talk about the highlights. You mentioned it, of course, the Copa del Rey moment against Barca, the arch rivals, or, you know, the Champions League title against Liverpool. What do you think will be, you know, remembered as his highlights there?
For sure, those 2 goals against Liverpool in 2018, when Real Madrid was 1-1 and Liverpool could win that final perfectly, and Zinedine Zidane decided to count on him, and he scored those amazing goals, especially first one against Karius. The other one in Mestalla in Valencia against Football Club Barcelona, it was 1-1 in the very best moments of these 2 teams, and Fabio Contrao gave him that famous pass, and he went out of the field, out of the grass, and supered Marc Bartra, and finally scored that goal against Pinto, the Football Club Barcelona goalkeeper. I would say those moments, but we have to say that he made a lot of goals in important Copa del Rey games, in La Liga, in UEFA Champions League. He's the British player with more UEFA Champions League, with 5, not only in Real Madrid, but in the whole history of the competition. And he has done important games in World Cup champions. So I said he's been important, especially for those 2 goals.